Well, the late Jack Kemp was a conservative Republican who dove into the inner city in the 1980s and 90s. He showed conservative ideas and programs could help end poverty and not just maintain the status quo and pay trillions in welfare. As Paul Strand reports, some say the GOP needs to champion these programs again to show what works to help the poor.
Conservative ideas and values are conquering inner-city poverty, crime, and addictions at places like the House of Help City of Hope project in one of D.C.'s poorest neighborhoods. Here, women and kids who were beaten and abused are healing, criminals are reforming, addicts are getting free. And it's all without the bloated bureaucratic programs many see as hindering more than helping folks break out of poverty.
The problem with many of the big government programs meant to help the poor is that much of the money actually doesn't go to the poor.
Bob Woodson, Center for Neighborhood Enterprise, supports conservative solutions rather than ineffective, wasteful welfare programs.
We've spent about $20 trillion on programs to aid the poor. 70 cents of every one of those dollars goes not to the poor, but those who serve poor people.
Critics say that's created a massive self-perpetuating bureaucracy some call the poverty industrial complex. Its only way to survive is maintaining a huge poor population dependent on government.
So poor people are being injured by the helping hand of government.
House of Help City of Hope's Bishop Shirley Holloway has spent decades, one by one, arming some of society's most hopeless people to become successful and productive. She says what they need is up-close love and relationship.
Big government uses systems. Systems don't work for people. Relationship does. And that's what we believe in, relationship. One with God, one with yourself, and then one with others.
Such a relationship turned around Donna Moore, who for years sold herself in the back of a van so she could buy drugs she then took in the same van.
I was living in abandoned buildings and abandoned vehicles. I was a prostitute, eating out of trash cans. My life was shipwrecked.
Government programs didn't help her transform.
I didn't get what I needed to stay sober.
But Holloway's ministry gave her tools to beat her addictions.
And not only was I given the tools, I was loved.
Holloway's love, discipline, and teaching helped Georgia Williams escape years of selling and doing drugs while she was working right inside a federal government agency and becoming suicidal.
If it hadn't been for Bishop and this place, I would be dead today.
Holloway says many of the poor dislike Republicans, but also realize what Democrats offer is an eventual dead end.
People are tired of Democrats. You know, you can't give away the whole house.
And they're hungry, like she is, for work and effort to be rewarded.
I believe if you work hard, you should be successful. I believe if you're lazy and you don't want to do nothing, you should still eat, but you should not reap the fruit of the land. Right now, we're giving stuff away, you know, and so people think I can just stay at home, make babies, or stay at home and do nothing, and they'll take care of me.
Arthur Brooks celebrates in his book, The Conservative Heart, real and lasting solutions to poverty that have already proved wildly successful.
Since 1970, the percentage of the world's population living on $1 a day or less, starvation level, has decreased by 80%.
He says the Republicans need to support whatever will give poor people the dignity of work and self-sufficiency.
And we have to design policies that don't maintain people in poverty and keep them at the edge, basically, of subsistence, but gives them an authentic opportunity to build their lives through work. We've done it before with welfare reform. We've weakened those reforms during the Obama administration. It's time to bring them back, and it's time for Republican politicians to be the true warriors for the poor that the poor deserve and that our hearts demand.
What these advocates say is that if you give people a real hand up out of poverty, give them their freedom and their dignity, what you may get is their vote. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from the House of Help, City of Hope, Washington.